Well, thank you for joining us here in the studios of City TV. I'm Kelly Hunter, the Communications Director with the City of Douglasville. And joining me tabletop today is our new mayor, Mayor Harvey Persons. Glad to have you joining us here today in the studio.
Thank you, Kelly. It's my pleasure.
Well, we are going to take the opportunity to meet the mayor, to meet the man who is taking office for the next 4 years for the City of Douglasville, and kind of take the opportunity to ask you a few questions, let you fill us in on who you are and kind of the direction that you see Douglasville heading in the next 4 years. And then from there, we're going to take this time, broadcast time, and devote it to a new mayor's program. And we've got that vision up and rolling and trying to come up with the right name and the vision of the program for you.
Good, Kelly. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to it.
All right. So you ready to get in and
I'm ready.
answer those questions? Well, the first thing that I want to know is, who is Harvey Persons, the man? Tell me about a little bit, what are your interests? Tell me about your family, some of those things that you'd like for our viewing audience to also know, for someone who doesn't know who Harvey Persons is.
How much time did you say we had?
Okay. We're limited.
Limited, okay. I'll try to see if I can give you the condensed version then. First of all, I'm very passionate about the City of Douglasville. I've had friends and associates and people within the community that have asked me why I wanted to be mayor of Douglasville. And I'm very passionate about Douglasville. I believe in contributing, giving back to my community, as is evidenced by my role and activity within the community for the last 25 or 30 years. So I'm very passionate about Douglasville, want to continue to give back. I believe that to whom much is given, much is expected. I've been very fortunate and very blessed, and I want to continue to give back to my community, to our citizens, and just be a part of helping Douglasville be what it can become, which is a much better city. We have a great city that we live in now,
right?
But I want to be able to contribute and be a part of that.
All righty. Well, tell us a little bit about your family.
Here again, how much time have you got?
Okay.
I have 3 adult children, have 8 beautiful grandchildren, and I'll be glad to show you pictures sometimes. But my wife, Sherry, she's the one that carries the collage around, and I certainly have pictures also. But like I said, I have 8 beautiful grandchildren, very fortunate and blessed that they're all healthy, and they have a multitude of interests and activities. Have 2 beautiful daughters, have a son, and when I say it's our family, and sometime we can get into a little bit more about how all that evolved, but like I said, we have 3 adult, I call them kids sometimes, and they remind me, we're not kids anymore, we're grown. So very proud of them, very proud of my wife, and family means a lot to me. It's like when we started with the election process, my wife and I talked about it quite a bit. We prayed about it, and my wife and my family needed to be on board with it because that's what's the most important. Not saying that being in an elected capacity and being mayor is not important, but your family is something that's enduring, and it means an awful lot to me. And if my family had said, "Well, we'd really rather you not do this," and we talked about it quite a bit before we decided, but they needed to be on board with it because they're extremely important to me, and I care very deeply about them.
All right. Well, it is good to know that the family is there because they will be part of everything that you're doing here in that new position and new office. Now, you come to the position of mayor having served in a prior term. Can you give us a quick synopsis of your term that you served with the City of Douglasville in the capacity of councilman?
I did. I served from 1989 to 85. I started out, I was asked to serve and appointed to serve a remaining term on a councilman that moved outside of the city, served 6 months, then ran for election, and was fortunate enough to be reelected. And I served approximately 7 years. I served as Mayor Pro Tem, served on the Finance Committee, chaired the Public Safety Committee, chaired the Personnel Committee. So I've been involved in city politics for quite some time. I chaired the city's zoning board for 5 years. So I've been very involved in city politics and city activities for quite some time, as well as the counties also.
Well, and that was going to lead into my next question. You currently have served on, very recently, different boards and organizations throughout the county. Can you kind of give us a synopsis there? A lot of people may not know exactly where where those functions have been.
Well, my most recent service was with the county, and that's as serving on the county's Planning and Zoning Board as well as the county's Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals. I was serving as the vice chairman, and I served in that capacity as far as the Board of Appeals and the Zoning Board for roughly 7 years. And that was a question that came up quite a bit on the campaign trail is, can the city and county work together? And I said, sure we can. I said, I live in the city, but I'm also the county's, I serve on the county's planning board. And I was most recent been appointed or reappointed by the chairman, Tom Wortham. So I said, that shows that I can work with the city and the county. So.
Well, and you mentioned there your campaign trail. I'm sure as you went knocking door to door and on the streets of Douglasville throughout the community, what were some of the things that you maybe learned or some of the things that you drew from that campaigning, your strategy and that type of thing? What were some of the things you heard from the different residents throughout the city?
Kelly, one of the things that I learned that, well, like I said, I've been involved, well, I've lived in Douglas County for about 35 years. And like I said, I've been very involved, very active in the community. But one of the things that I learned, I say learned, it reinforced what I already felt, was that we have a great community.
Yes.
We have a lot of wonderful people and people that have the same desires and ideals and want this to be a great place to live, work, play, and raise a family, which was my mantra, if you will, all along the campaign trail.
Right.
But like I said, it reinforced that there's some wonderful people that we have in our community. And like I said, I just want to continue serving them and being a part of that and helping them do what they want to do and have the community we want to have.
So you mean you managed to escape any tough questions on that camping trail?
You gonna try to pin me down?
No, just.
No, that's something that people have asked me that all along the campaign trail. What do you see as the most burning issue? What do you see as the most pressing issue? And to me, it's not as much what I see. It's what do our citizens see? Because I'm elected to represent the community and our citizens, and it's our city. We need to work collectively to solve, and I don't want to say problems, but solve the issues that they see that are issues to help make it a great place to live. And I would tell people all the time, it depends on who you're talking with. With some people it's transportation,
right.
With some people it's public safety, with others it's housing, with others it's jobs. So it's a lot of different things, and I think that's where the governing process comes in. You've got to reach out to the people, talk to them, and see what they want our community to be. And then we collectively work together to see that happens. So, but yeah, there were some tough questions at the time, but it depends on the particular community that you're talking with and the people, because everybody has different issues. But to me, that's where governing comes in, is being able to talk to, connect, and listen to those people, and then work to govern and get done what they want and need to be done.
Right. Looking at those challenges
Exactly.
and assessing the right direction and move, which is a good segue into the next question. Where do you see Douglasville going in the next 4 years and maybe even on into the future? What's the vision?
The vision is to help make Douglasville one of the premier places in America to live. I told a lady that one day, and a lady that I have a lot of respect for and that's lived in our community for quite some time. And she looked at me and she said, "You're a dreamer, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am." I said, "Because to me, dreams are what real things are made out of. And if you don't have any dreams, if you don't have a place you want to go,
right.
then you're willing to be happy and contented with whatever happens." And I've never been that way. And I told, and when she said I was a dreamer, it wasn't a compliment. She was being facetious, if you will. And she said, "Well, Douglasville, that'll never happen here." And I looked at her, and I, like I said, I have the utmost respect for the lady, and I was very respectful in my comment back to her. But I told her, I said, "You're right. With that attitude, it won't." I said, "But you know what? That's not acceptable to me." Because we have, and along the campaign trail, I asked people, I said, "Tell me what Douglasville lacks that would keep us from being, and when I say Douglasville, Douglas County,
Right.
from being one of the premier places in America to live. And I said, we've got transportation, we have clean air, water, educated workforce, facilities of higher education,
Shopping. Don't
shop.
forget shopping.
Oh no, I'm not much of a shopper, but my wife will. She can fill in the gaps there. But we're within close proximity of major metropolitan area. We're within 20 to 30 minutes, depending on what part of the city or county you live in,
Right.
of one of the busiest or the busiest international airport in the world.
Right.
And not only one, but we have two 4-lane corridors going straight to it. To me, we have a position in the country that a lot of cities would be envious of.
They sure
So
would.
my thing is, you have the right dream, the right vision, and you know where you want to go, and then collectively, people, the citizens, the community, businesses get on board with that. I mean, to me, I can't even imagine what we can accomplish. But to be one of the premier places in America to live, and I've had people even tell me, well, you better be careful, or you need to be careful being that bold and saying that, because that raises the bar and that raises the expectation level. Well, my reply back to that, what's wrong with that?
Exactly.
If you don't raise the bar and you don't raise the standard, then you're willing to accept whatever comes along. And I'm not. I was accused. Well, I was told, I guess here a couple of days ago, we heard you're intense. Well, I am, but I'm intense in the passion that I have for Douglasville and Douglas County. I'm excited about what we can do. But that's my vision, is to make, or to help make, Douglasville and Douglas County one of the premier places in America to live. And I'm firmly convinced we can do that. We're going to do that.
All right. So the future of Douglasville is in good hands.
It is, but it's kind of like the old, and I don't want to say a particular company because I don't want to, but there was a commercial that says you're in good hands with, but to me, there are a lot of different hands.
It's a collective.
It's a collective effort of the community working together.
There you are.
When I was out there campaigning, my thing was I want to help make Douglasville. A lot of times you hear people say, well, I'm going to make this, or by myself, I'm not going to make anything. It's a collective effort of all of us working together.
And I'm sure that's good news and a good message for those to hear.
It's just like I've already met with several departments. I've talked with staff. I've met with the police department at roll call. I've met with our sanitation and maintenance workers and told them it's a collective effort. Yes, I'm the new mayor, but it's our city, and we have a responsibility to our citizens, and we all need each other. We need our police department to see that it's a safe place to live, sanitation and maintenance to maintain the streets and do the things that they do. It all goes together. Everybody is important in getting the job done. So.
Well, we know you hit the ground running right after the election. That next Wednesday morning, December the 8th, 7th? You were 7th. You were in the office and getting yourself ready so that January 1, when you took office and took place, you were ready to take us and move us forward. So we appreciate that.
Thank you. That night, I guess my wife and I finally finished up, my wife, Sherry, and I guess we were sitting there kind of wrapping up as we do at the kitchen table and talking about it, and finally about 2:30 in the morning she said, I'm done. I'm going to bed.
Don't tell me you stayed up and came into work the next day.
I did.
Did you?
As a matter of fact, I hit the ground running the next morning, met with the mayor, or the mayor at the time, Mickey, and we talked about some things. We had already set it up I don't want to say if, because I never said if. I said when, because I planned on winning.
Sure.
And I said, if after everything's over, I'd like to meet with you. And we talked, and then we had an ARC meeting downtown. I went to that, had some meetings afterwards. And then the next morning, Thursday morning at 5:30, I was at roll call talking to the police department. And it's been that ongoing. And to me, like I said a little earlier, I am a little intense, but to me, I'm excited about the opportunity, and I think that, the citizens expect a certain amount, and I don't want to let them down. So I wasn't going to wait till January the 3rd and say, well, okay, here I am. So
jumped in. Well, as we kind of close out this section of the program, how can people get in touch with you? Are you going to make yourself accessible? How accessible are you going to make yourself? Maybe would be the question. And if people are wanting to find out more about you, invite you maybe to speak at some events or that type of thing, how can people get in touch and contact you?
Kelly, one of the things that I said on the campaign trail, because I was asked that several times, are you going to be accessible? Are you going to be removed from the community? And I said, no. I said, I believe that I'm here to serve the community, and you best serve by being accessible. If you're out of touch and you don't know what is going on, then it's really difficult to serve because you don't know what the needs are. When you best know what the needs are, then you're best able to serve. And one of the things, and I brought it, but you asked me that, and that kind of goes right into this, how accessible will I be? As I told you, I've been on the council, I've been on P&Z boards, I've been on several different boards and all. And when you start talking about planning and zoning and appeals and being on the council, that you deal with issues that people want to talk to you. And when I had my push card, or when I say push card, kind of a summary of what I wanted to do, on the back of it, it had my home phone number. And I would a lot of times show people that and say, do you know what that is? And they would go, no. I said, that's my home phone number. And I had a man look at me one day and he said, well, that's got a 942 exchange.
Exactly.
I said, yeah. I said, that's the same phone number that's been listed in the Douglasville phone book for almost 35 years. It's been listed all this time. And he said, well, aren't you worried about putting it out there that people are going to call you? I said, why else would I put it there? Now, let me qualify that.
You want those 2 o'clock in the morning phone calls for?
If you've got a dog next door that's barking at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'd rather you go through the normal process. But let me say this. If you've got a dog barking at 2 o'clock in the morning and you've exhausted all resources and you've gone through the process and it's not resolved, call me. I mean,
let's find out why.
Yeah, and then we'll find out, why we're not meeting the needs and the expectations. But what I would do is ask that the citizens, if you want to come up and talk, let's, call, make an appointment. We'll sit down, or I'll come to you. But if you feel that your needs are not really being met and that you can't get done what truly needs to be done, call me. Like I said, if I didn't mean that, I wouldn't have my home phone number on there. It's been on there for 35 years, or it's been accessible. I live right here in the city. I don't live, far off somewhere. I got to live in the city
to have
be
the
mayor.
office. That's right.
But to answer the question, yes, I'm going to be accessible, because I want to see what the community wants, what the needs are, because it's our community, and if I don't ask, I don't know. So I'm going to be very accessible. Yeah. And I would ask that, if, don't just drop in at, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, stop and come by. But if I'm out there, I still cut my own grass, and plan to continue to do it. And if you're riding by and see me out there, stop and, let's talk. But let me finish cutting grass.
Sure.
So.
Right. There's office hours.
Yeah.
Already. Well, it has been a pleasure getting to interview you and find out who Harvey Persons, the man, is, and the new mayor for the city of Douglasville. We're going to take a break here, and then we're going to bring you back solo. All right? You get to sit up here behind the table and kind of give the idea of your campaign pledges, I think was the direction you wanted to go with this next little bit of segment. And then we'll close out the program with a candid conversation that you had just a few weeks ago, just right after your election, with somebody on the streets. Okay. Is that good with you?
That's great. Great, Kelly, and I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, looking forward to working with you and for you, sir.
Thank you, and I appreciate what you're doing.
All righty. We'll be back with more Meet the Mayor.
We've got excellent staff. We've got excellent people within the city that have already started laying some groundwork.
Right.
We've had some good leadership that have taken us to a point. But now we want to take it to that next level. And we can't hesitate or hiccup. And I've had people tell me, well, you know what's going on in the economy. You know that, well, 90% of the people are still working.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, go the other end.
Look here, the cars going up and down.
Yes.
You know, and yeah, don't get me wrong, it's unfortunate for the people that don't have a job, but it's incumbent on us to try to help make the things happen that we can put those people back to work, that we can increase jobs and have a place for them to be excited about, where they want to live, they want to work, and they want to play. Where they're not driving to Atlanta every day or wherever else. We want to provide the jobs and the locations for them to be able to, like I said, live, work, and play.
Yep.
And I'm a runner. I still, thank goodness, have been able to. I still jog and run. I can't tell you the number of times I've run up and down these sidewalks in these streets, looking at the businesses and the things that we've got, to offer. But I can't do it by myself. It takes all of us working together, and if we'll work together, it's amazing. I mean, you talk about the ideas and the things that you want to do, but we all get together and sit down in the same room and start bouncing those about. Now, you got to put feet to it. Now, what are we going to do to make it happen? And if we're working together, I mean, look at history. I mean, just one or two people, or a core, or a handful of people have done. But think about if we can get all those working together. Don't tell me Douglasville, Douglas County can't be one of the premier places in America to live, work, and play.
Absolutely.
That's unacceptable. I'm not going to accept that.
It's a great community.
It's a wonderful thing. Like I said, 12 years ago, I chose to stay in Douglasville, Douglas County. I could have gone anywhere in the Atlanta metropolitan area, built my home. Basically, my family was grown, and I could have moved somewhere else. I chose not to. I wanted to stay, and I wanted to stay downtown. And and people have asked me, well, why you can retire? Why do you want to do this? Because I want to continue to be a part of it. I love it. I got a passion for it. So, let's keep that going.
So the old dogs teaching the young dogs tricks.
Well, we're gonna see. Well, there's a lot we can learn from each other.
Oh, yeah.
Old dog.
No, I am.
No, I mean, there's a lot that we can all learn from each other. The young dogs, they got tricks too. So let's partner together and figure. Let's do it so we can all have the same opportunities, provide jobs, provide growth, but control quality growth.
Oh, yeah.
That's been my thing. I don't want to, let's just go out and get people to come in. And I want to see them that when they come, or we promote and get them to come, that and they're good community partners. They want to participate in the community. They want to be involved. They're not just takers. They want to contribute. They want to give. They want to. They got the same vision. So. Hello. I want to thank, first of all, Kelly Hunter and her staff with City TV for putting this program together and all the hard work that's gone into it. Really appreciate their efforts and want to thank them today for what they're putting together. I've been asked to address the citizens and people out there that are watching this, talk just briefly about what I said on the campaign trail and what I would like to do. And as I spoke earlier and said, my vision for the city of Douglasville and Douglas County, because I believe it's a cooperative effort, is to help make Douglasville, Douglas County, one of the premier places in America to live, work, and play. That was my platform, to help make Douglasville a safe place to live, work, and play while maintaining fiscal responsibility. I believe that elected officials are charged to be good stewards of the resources that they've been given by their citizens, and then work diligently to meet the needs of the citizens, to give them the needs that they need to have to help them be to enjoy the community that they live in. I believe that you do this in a lot of different ways. You, first of all, have to have a good cooperative effort between the mayor and the council, and we will have that. The mayor and the council are elected by their constituents to present needs, to work together to see that we have a good city to live in. In working together, one of the things that the city needs to do and will do is work with the county. This is something that came up a lot of times on the campaign trail. Will the city and the county work together? I pledged to the people that I was talking to on the campaign trail that we would work very diligently to have good city-county working relations. I've already had numerous conversations with individual council members and know that that's their desire. I have an excellent working relationship with Chairman Wortham and the current commissioners. We've talked about it. We all want to work together to have a good working relationship because it's our community. It behooves us to work together. What is good for the city needs to be good for the county. What's good for the county needs to be good for the city. So we will work together to see that we have a good community and a safe community to live in while being good stewards of the resources that the citizens have given us to work with. That's everything from our employee base to the assets, hard assets, the revenues that are generated by taxes. Those are the things that they've entrusted us with, and I full well expect and want to be good stewards of those resources. I look forward to serving the citizens of Douglasville. I've been involved in the community for the better part of 30 years, 35. I lived in Douglasville for 35 years, and I've been actively involved in the community for the better part of 30 years. I'm excited about the opportunity to continue to serve our great city. I choose to live in Douglasville and in Douglas County. I plan to continue to stay and live in our great community. I'm looking forward to working with the citizens in the different areas of our community in a collaborative effort to help make this one of the premier places in America to live. I look forward to meeting you at different times. I plan on not just staying in the studio behind a camera, but I want to reach out to the community. I want to go to homeowners associations. I plan on having town hall meetings, meeting in different parts of the community, and I plan to continue to expand technology using City TV, Facebook, the internet, all the tools that we have available and at our disposal to make sure that you, the citizens, know what's going on with your government, because it's truly your government that we are just allowed to be stewards of. I talked with our staff yesterday, and one of the briefly, and one of the things that I emphasized is that we in government is here for the people, not that people are here for the government. I believe that we have an obligation and a responsibility to serve you, the citizens. And that's my pledge to you, that the city of Douglasville will give you the good customer service and be in tune with what your needs are and work to serve you, the citizens of Douglasville, and our counterparts in Douglas County. I look forward to working with you, look forward to serving you, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.